At a valuation at $1.4 billion, $263 million in sales, and 113,000 retail locations in the US and UK, Liquid Death has disrupted the water industry by avoiding a certain type of branding strategy.
That can be a differentiating thing for a few moments, but the minute you have any success, any other brand can put the same ingredient in there, and then you're going to lose because you can't own an ingredient.
Liquid Death, a startup beverage company aiming to #murder your thirst, did something a little bit unhinged and different than most food and beverage startups. Meet Mike Cesario, the founder of Liquid Death, a startup beverage company on a mission to #murder your thirst. Mike took an unhinged approach to branding by marketing water as the deadliest thing on earth.
Water is deadly. It kills innocent surfers and snowboarders and kayakers. Every year, water is responsible for thousands and thousands of deaths.
They're also trying to fight climate change with their aluminum cans.
If I spend all my marketing dollars telling people aluminum is infinitely recyclable, and there's 4 other canned water brands, I'm just telling people why my competitors are good.
What Mike is talking about here is a marketing strategy that many food and beverage brands have acquired and oversaturated the market with. It's a strategy that will cause a startup food and beverage company to quickly rise and then fall. It's not just food and beverage companies that use this marketing strategy, but it's also cosmetics, tech, fashion, and so much more. We can predict this kind of branding is unsustainable because this marketing technique is already heading out the door in other industries. This is Food Forecast, where we look at marketing trends across various industries to predict their influence and impact on the food industry.
You can't own an ingredient. You can't own a lot of different things that people think is their differentiating thing.
This kind of branding is one that Liquid Death avoids as key to its success.
That's why with Liquid Death, we always focused on brand.
Promoting a specific ingredient or component of a product as a brand in its own right is a marketing strategy known as ingredient branding. It's everywhere on the market.
The brand is what you can truly own. And that really is your moat, more so than most brands think it is. They think their moat is an ingredient, or they think it's something else. It's not really. It's like anybody can replicate your formula. It's your brand is really your moat, and how are you making it your moat?
This is where Mike sees past the BS of ingredient branding.
Even though we're water in a can, people were like, well, why don't you guys just talk about why aluminum is infinitely recyclable and death to plastic? Like, that's what you should be talking about, not the funny heavy metal stuff. But it's like, but we can't own aluminum cans.
These characteristics of a brand is how I know that Liquid Death is going to last after working in the food industry for 7 years. Liquid Death is in the entertainment business. The founder knew that people hate seeing ads and wanted to provide value to them in some way. They marketed water as the deadliest thing on earth. Oops, oh shit. It's also about to ruin my mic here, so it's pretty deadly. Marketing in this unhinged way had so much engagement because engagement is one of the most important factors in advertising.
How did I marry the woman of my dreams? I use Liquid Death mountain water in my thanks to my new signature Enema of the State collectible enema kit.
They sell an experience. Their mock advertisements on TikTok or the mockumentary style videos on YouTube and social media content are known for being entertaining, outrageous, and sometimes even controversial. They have 3.2 million on Insta and 5.2 million on TikTok. Liquid Death isn't just here to murder your thirst, but to fight climate change. #death to plastic. On top of the top tier entertainment, they are impacting the climate in a great way by bottling these cans in aluminum. You see this marketing strategy in various industries unrelated to the food and beverage industry. Think Intel in a brand new computer, niacinamide in ordinary cosmetics, or even a low-calorie candy that has a healthy, clean formula. Ingredient branding is a way for companies to leverage their reputation and recognition of a well-known ingredient brand to enhance the perceived value of their own products. In today's highly competitive market, ingredient branding has become increasingly popular because it's a way for companies to differentiate themselves easily, especially startup food and beverage companies. But there is a few problems to this. We can see the downfall of ingredient branding in other industries. It's not to say that ingredient branding is not successful, but they just have a time limit. This is what Food Forecast is all about, looking around to see what's happening to predict what will happen in the food industry. When you look at the beauty industry, you saw how brands differentiated themselves by highlighting their natural ingredients. Now we have brands disrupting that market and pivoting towards using fewer natural ingredients because it's harmful for the environment. Or if you look at technology, you see people used to look for Intel in their computers. Now they're looking for ADM. So kind of what Mike is saying, what happens if the market changes on how they view a particular ingredient, and that ingredient is synonymous to your brand identity? First problem is the obvious one, limited ownership. In the food and beverage industry, you can't own a formula. That's why flavor and fragrance houses lobby so much to keep their work privatized. It's a matter of time another larger company uses your same formula or strategy and competes against you and prices you out the market. Look at the natural protein bars at Whole Foods. Cliff Bar used to reign in that category, and now there's like 20 other brands. Another problem is a lack of longevity. Consumers evolve and new trends emerge. Brands that rely solely on ingredient branding may struggle to stay relevant. As a food and beverage company, you can't own a formula, but you can own a brand, a community, and an impact. Without a strong brand identity and community, companies risk fading into the obscurity as quickly as they rose to fame. By owning their own brand and making a meaningful impact in their community, companies can ensure long-term success and resilience in the face of challenging market dynamics. On a personal note, I hope we move away from ingredient branding because it comes up with the lamest marketing tactics. If more people were using the techniques of liquid death, we would see more creativity in the marketing departments. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And I would really appreciate it if you took a minute to check out my food blog and subscribe to the newest newsletters.